Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining this webinar. My name is Vitas from Eskimi. And today I'd like to spend a half an hour talking about the mobile programmatic platforms, and especially for the platform context in Africa. Mobile programmatic is getting more and more popular topic in the industry of advertisement. And the main reason why we probably need to also focus on it in Africa, because 35% of the programmatic spend is already done by programmatic. 35% of the advertisement spend is done programmatically worldwide, and this trend will definitely come to the African markets as well. And currently, of course, if we look to the African markets, excluding South Africa, most of the digital buying is done manually, where you as an agency, for example, are going to the publishers directly and buy the ads directly, or you do the Google AdWords or search or Facebook. So today we'll speak about programmatic. First of all, I'd like to share a screen and talk about Eskimi and our platforms, what we are currently having, and more about the DSP platform, getting deeper to the system. So first of all, about the company, Eskimi is known for the social network platform that we launched 6 years ago. And currently we have 21 million members on the platform. Majority of those are from African markets. But this is not the only business that we're in. We've expanded our products in 4 different areas that are connected to the telecommunications and advertisement. And so the second platform that we'll focus more time today is our mobile DSP, or programmatic platform, that currently reaches 65 million users in Africa and close to 300 million users worldwide. And the third business that we have is the ad monetization solution for publishers. So again, using the programmatic protocols, we are able to increase the revenue that is received by publishers if we compare it with the basic benchmark of AdSense revenue. Our ad mediation platform connects to more than 30 ad networks and allows publishers to earn more money. And we also have a direct carrier billing solution in 12 different markets. So basically, this is the system where we're able to collect money from people purchasing different virtual goods from their airtime accounts. So if you want to buy a song in Nigeria for 20 Naira while browsing the web, our platform can allow you to do that. And you as a site owner can earn additional revenue. So these are the 4 platforms that we have. And additionally, we have special solutions to key clients. So of course, Eskimi has been known for all the engagement campaigns, and on Eskimi socials, we have a lot of banking, FMCG engagement campaigns. You can see the case studies there. So we are quite experienced on this area. But we also have a direct product activation for telcos. So basically, this is changing the ways of how telcos are selling their products. Instead of just using SMS or USSD, it is now possible to do the activation directly on the mobile web. So this is very close connected to the DSP, because the programmatically selling stuff online using the performance metrics and tracking tools becomes very much more advanced. So first of all, let's talk about what is programmatic media buying. And basically, this is the main thing that we're discussing now. If we take the definition of the programmatic media buying, it's simply the marketing and advertisement using algorithms, and the advertisement space is actually sold in real time. So it's not pre-booked, it's not planned. It's actually each impression is evaluated and sold in real time. And all this process is automated by software, and the buying, the placement, the optimization, and the targeting is also done by software and the bidding system. And this is done by real-time bidding systems and real-time bidders as software packages. So this is very different from the current ways that the media is bought, for example, in Nigeria, Kenya, or Ghana, or similar markets, where usually the agencies or the advertisers will go directly to the publishers. And then we'll talk about it today, why programmatic is more advanced and why 35% of the worldwide digital spend is already moved to programmatic. And the trend is just continuing. So what we see is, of course, that this will continue and reach the African markets as well. So a bit of a technical graph, but it shows what happens to each impression in case of programmatic buying and real-time bidding. So you see the circle that actually has to be completed in less than 100 milliseconds, because each ad that is shown to the user has to be evaluated before it's shown to the user. So when the user opens the site, in 1 or less than 100 milliseconds, our system needs to determine whether the impression and the user that is viewing that impression falls under any of the campaigns that we're running and under the targeting that is being set by the advertisers. And then during this time period, we also have to bid for an impression, and an auction takes place, and the winning exchange or winning DSP then serves the ad. So you can imagine that this is I mean, less than 100 milliseconds is a very short period of time, and currently our system completes about 500 million auctions every day. So I'm always amazed of the technology and the speed of technology. So, but it's just for you to understand that each impression bought programmatically is evaluated before it is shown to the user. And that is how you can actually buy very effectively, because each time you have to judge whether this is the user that you want to show the ad or not. So let's talk about the benefits of the programmatic mobile in the African context. And this is a bit different than in the other markets. And I think that programmatic is even more useful in the African markets than, for example, in the developed world like US or UK. And here are a few reasons why. So first of all, with programmatic, you're reaching, you have one dashboard usually, and you're reaching a lot more users than you're reaching through your standard platforms. So I can take Google AdWords, for example, or GDN, Google Display Network, and compare it with the programmatic reach. And I'll have a couple of slides around that. But the main thing is that if we take Nigeria or Kenya or some of those markets, usually the programmatic reach is about 3 times more, or 3 times bigger than the usual GDN reach, and I'll explain why. Then another concept which is very important in programmatic is that when you're buying programmatically, you're actually buying audiences instead of sites, and this allows you to escape the traditional misconception of the sites and the traditional problems that we have when we perceive that a certain site has a certain audience. So I can give you an example that usually advertisers would say that news sites would have very serious people, and then entertainment sites would have youth and well, people who are not serious and not planning to buy anything. So we have compared the sites, and we have now this possibility to compare audiences between the sites, and we see that really audiences actually overlap a lot. And if you're buying a new site, you would get a lot of the audience who are using the same entertainment site. So the main concept of programmatic is basically that you need to define your audiences, and you can buy audiences instead of sites. So you can say, I want to buy male 24 years old plus from Lagos, and you're able to achieve that. You will not be able to achieve that when you're buying a site directly, because you will get a whole mix of their audiences who visit the site during the time that you run a campaign. So this is a very powerful tool for programmatic. Then definitely you can do deep targeting. So you can target by devices, by operators, by countries, in many cases by deeper location, and you can target by districts in certain cities. You can target by platforms, and all this can help you to just narrow down your audiences for your brands and to reach your goals. Another benefit is that you can really get premium quality for less. So there are a lot of sites who would monetize their inventory through the worldwide exchanges, and they also sell their traffic directly to the advertisers. But the strategy when they do that is basically they sell directly for more than they would backfill their traffic for the ad exchanges. So it is the same traffic, but when you're buying through the programmatic platform, you can get the same premium quality for less, and that's, I mean, that can provide you up to 2 times savings, which our case studies show. Another thing is more important for the agencies is that you can increase margins with optimization, and there are 2 ways: as manual optimization and automatic optimization. And I'll show you a case study, a very short one, how these optimizations can help you increase the margins. So basically reach the same result for the client, but with maybe 30 or 40% less of budget. And then what programmatic gives you is that you can enrich impressions with data. So in Africa, up until now, there was no data management platform where, for example, when the person is browsing bbc.com, you'd be able to say that this is a female 26 years old from Nairobi. And now you can, because Eskimi is launching the first DMP in those mentioned markets, which I will talk about it later on as well. So introducing Eskimi Mobile DSP. So we have all key exchanges for Africa that have at least 100 million impressions per month. We have multiple creative formats. So we have display, all sorts of and all formats. You have native ads, which perform really well, and you have video, which is taken off in Africa now. And you have rich media ads, so the expand ads and other kind of HTML ads that again can help you to increase performance, do some actions from the ad, and so on. We have performance tools. We have tracking, and you can implement tracking and connect your systems, so then you can optimize easily. We have manual and automatic optimization. I will talk about it later. We have a white labeling solution, so we can work as a technology partner, and the agency can label, can brand the DSP with their own name and logo, and then present it to their clients as their own. And we have the first local DMP in the markets where we are launching. It's the Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, and Tanzania. So again, just to mention the key benefits of Eskimi DSP in the African context. So as I mentioned already, that we have the African specific traffic support, but we can also do click-to-call and click-to-USSD campaigns, which is not available usually in other networks. We have a specific platform for the telcos where they can achieve the click-to-buy system, when, for example, the data bundle can be easily just bought with a single click. As I mentioned, we have a local DMP, and we have a specific platform for publishers, which again becomes a very beneficial tool for advertisers where they want to buy the traffic directly. So let's move to the reach. As I mentioned, in Africa, we currently have 65 million unique users and more than 10 billion impressions. And this is reached across 100,000 sites and apps within all categories. So any site and app that monetizes their traffic through advertisement you'll be able to reach through our DSP. And just give you an example and compare the reach, as I mentioned, with the GDN. So the graph shows the number of impressions from Nigeria per month, which you can reach through Google and which you can reach through our DSP. So Google is part of our exchange as well. So there are a lot of benefits that you can achieve by buying through exchange directly to Google. But the first thing is that we have in total more than 3 billion impressions, and GDN would have only 1.3 billion impressions per month in Nigeria. So the difference comes from two areas. First of all, of course, Google would only monetize Android, but not only that, if we take Nigeria, about 75 or 70% of Androids are using proxy browsers. And this is the area where Google would not monetize them. So Opera Mini, UC browser are the ones who are very popular in Nigeria. And Google will not show ads on majority of those browsers versions because it's basically technical restrictions that Google have when they're showing ads. So this is one big area. And then the second big area is feature phones. And when I'm talking about feature phones, I'm not talking about the old black and white phones. Feature phones are still, I mean, the ones that, so for example, BlackBerry would be a feature phone, and Nokia Asha devices, which are full color, even some of them are touch screens, would be feature phones, and some of the Windows devices would be also treated as feature phones. So there are a lot of fully capable devices that are used by important audiences that Google would not reach. So this is just an important note that when you're buying programmatically, you have a much better reach, and especially for certain brands like FMCGs or banks, or telcos, this is extremely important that they reach the high mass market. And the other benefit that is achieved when you're buying from more channels is basically a cost benefit. So if you're buying only from GDN, and this table shows you that, is that you're actually overpaying for the audience because you are just, and everybody tries to buy from this small audience. But if you expand your reach, you're able to get a lower price. And I mean, this is just a very small case study that we've done in Kenya, I think, where the traffic in other channels or other exchanges through our DSP can bought 40% cheaper in CPM, and that would create about 20% margin gain. So when I say margin gain, I'm always talking to the agencies when they're trying to reach the same results for their clients with a lower cost and try to increase their profitability. So this is the way to do it, by just increasing the number of sites and the number of channels that you're buying your ads at. So, and this is the slide which shows you just a fraction of publishers that we have in Nigeria. And there are all there. I mean, you probably know a lot of them. International ones and local ones are there. So you can reach them and you can buy ads selectively. You can buy ads through all the sites. So it's up to you. It's very easy to kind of create packages of the sites and then buy only in certain sites like news package or entertainment package or music package. But it's just to show that all the sites are there, and a lot of the international apps as well. The ad formats, which I mentioned, so it's just a visual representation of that. So we have the leaderboard, MPU, interstitials, native ads. They look like that, and they're fully customizable, so everything can be changed in the ad. And then we have video, which is when you scroll certain publishers, which activates video. It would look like that. For certain apps, the video would be full screen on the and we have to turn your device, so it's even better experience for the users. So then, stopping about targeting, you can target by country, operator, operating system, browser, exchanges. You can choose whether you want to target only the sites or the app. You can choose device type, so you can say, okay, I want to target only smartphones, only feature phones, or only tablets, or all of them. And you can target by site packages and use predefined list, which I just mentioned. So for example, if you want to do a news package and only do a kind of a contextual targeting, this is also possible. And this allows you to just select the site. So for the agencies out there, this helps you to know always where the ads are running, so that the clients would know which sites they're bidding at. Then performance and optimization. You can track performance per each site, platform, or OS. So for example, if you're running something which only works for certain devices, but you want to test, you can try it out. And if you implement our tracking tools, you would know if for example, the user registered to a certain platform. So if you're promoting an event page, for example, you can implement the tracking pixel in the success page of the event registration, and you're able then to track how many users registered. But the important thing here is that each site, each platform, each OS would perform differently. And through our system, you'd be able to optimize, and the system would automatically shut down the sites or platforms or operating systems which would not perform well based on your criteria and KPIs. So, for example, if you're promoting a music event and there's a registration page that you're driving traffic to, our system would automatically shut down all the sites that would not perform based on your goal. So if you're setting your goal that your cost per registration should be not more than $1, automatically the system would shut down all the sites that are not performing accordingly. And the optimization KPIs can be not only CPA. You can say, okay, I want to run ads on sites that deliver 1% CTR, or you have a specific CPC goal in mind and you don't want to increase it. So if you say that I have a goal of 5 cents CPC, you insert this into the platform, and automatically all the segments will be stopped that are not delivering on this KPI. And you can also do manual performance. So for example, if you see that it is not working, or that it is working but specific sites you want to just stop manually, you also have the opportunity to do that on the platform by just reviewing all the campaign on a day-by-day basis. So this slide shows you a result of the manual and auto optimization. So we just ran a campaign recently to showcase this for one of our clients, and you can see the trend. So the gray line is the CPC. So the client was willing to reduce the CPC rates for their traffic, and during the 7-day period, our system decreased the CPC rate to 35%. And as you see, that the number of clicks remained the same, but just that the client started saving 35% of the budget. So this is a powerful tool, and you just can imagine how much money you can save by using this. And this allows you to kind of a lot of flexibility in your pricing as well. So the data management platform, this is a new thing that we're launching on top of the DSP. And the part of the inventory will be enriched with location, gender, and age. So that means that we know when the user is browsing all these thousands of sites, we will know what this user and who this user is. And this is done by us doing surveys of the most active users, and we also have Eskimi Social as a source of the data. So This is a very unique system that we're launching in the West African and East African markets, and none of the display advertisement platforms can currently offer that. And this is extremely important for the brands who are willing to target their specific audience. So, for example, a beer brand wants to target only people who are 18 and above, or a specific female brand wants to target only females, or a male brand wants to target males. So from now on, you don't have to waste money. If it's a female brand, you don't need to waste about 70% of your budget, because in Nigeria, unfortunately, 70% of the whole browsing audiences are male. So this is an extremely powerful tool, again, to save money and optimize budgets. And additionally, we can achieve even the socioeconomic class targeting by combining our own data, surveys and browsing data, and device information. So we can pinpoint these users, and give you an example of how many users we can achieve or reach in the socioeconomic segments, which is extremely important, for example, in Nigeria. So just quickly run through these slides. We have top 26 states that are very active in terms of reach and internet users. So we are not including here those which have less than 100,000 unique user reach. So you can see the list here. And then the next slide also shows the impressions and users in each state. So Lagos and Abuja, of course, the biggest ones, but we have a quite significant reach in others as well. So it's a full coverage of the whole market in Nigeria. And if we're talking about the other markets, which I mentioned on the DMP side, we're also having this information about them. So age and gender, as I mentioned, 68% male and 32% female. And then there's a two biggest age groups, which is first we call the 42% of 18 to 25, the youth, and then the 25 to 34 is the young professionals segments. So this would be more than 70%, and this would allow you to kind of target them as well with different products and offerings that you have. And very important point to mention here is that an advertiser can actually create or ask us to create additional very specific segments, which make sense for them. So for example, if it's a mother care brand, or I don't know, a diapers brand, it would only make sense to target women as mothers for them. And it is possible because we are able to collect through the surveys additional information, such as whether you have kids and how many kids you have. And for certain other brands, let's say we can, for insurance company, we could collect information whether the person has a car. And I don't know, we can collect information about banking service use, real estate, property ownership, and so on. So this is another powerful tool that can be achieved with programmatic platforms, where you can collect this information and use it in your own targeting. This usually takes time. So if you're planning a campaign and the targeting is quite wide, we're able to collect it, and usually it takes like 3 to 4 weeks, for example, to collect 100,000 mothers or something like that. So you need to reach out to us and tell us your needs, and basically then we can discuss it and see if this is the segment that we can create. Going further, so reporting wise, the system has multi-client agency reporting. So if you're an agency and you have more than one client, you're able to manage them for your own one dashboard, and you can run campaigns for each client, and then you can also give the the connectivity to your clients to check their statistics online. And of course, as an agency, you can manage your margins here and increase your profitability through that. As I mentioned, white label. So you have your own branded platform with the logo, and you can see in the slide that the logo and the colors can be all changed to your agency. So full look and feel adaptation to your brand guidelines. And of course, if you're exporting the results, the reports, that they also made branded too. So summarizing the benefits of the programmatic platforms in Africa. So the ones that we learned and we mentioned is that the higher reach. So Google would just have 25 to 30% of the reach because of the proxy browsers and feature phones, which are still very big and will continue to be big in the African markets. You have transparent bidding on GDN sites as well. So as you saw on the auto optimization exercise, you can save 35% of your Google spend just using the auto optimization. Then of course the auto optimization can be used to optimize by sites, platform, OS, and the operators, and you get a really nice result. You have all creative formats, so you're very flexible. You can run click-to-call, click-to-USSD, and click-to-buy campaigns. This is mostly applicable for the telcos, but anybody can use that. We have a FMCG brand running a click-to-call campaign for their sales in East Africa, and there are campaigns running USSD for certain surveys. So all of this is useful, but on other networks, for example, a USSD would not be allowed. And as I mentioned, DMP, so data management platform for more than 1 billion impressions, for example, in Nigeria, where you can target users by age, location, and gender, and you can also create specific segments of your own. And a very important notice, of course, to Nigeria. So specifically for Nigeria, we are also launching the local currency support. So all the bids and reports will be done in Naira. So it will be easier for the companies who cannot obtain dollars, and they could pay in the local currency. So we also have a case study, and you can find it in this presentation, of how our direct activation campaigns for telcos work. And we've done a case study of the Eskimi bundle, which is launched with MTN, where our DSP platform activated more than 100,000 bundles in a 3-month period campaign. So we have a case study separately for that. If you are interested, you can reach out to us. And again, just showing a couple of examples of these direct activation campaigns, but also trying to show how the native ads look like. So they're really beautiful with the specific click to order or click to buy buttons, which again allows you to increase conversion. And for the last slide, just a couple of brands that run their campaigns on the DSP, as a lot of them do now, but the usual misconception is that the DSP or the programmatic is only for the e-commerce brands, but we're having a lot of FMCGs, mobile operators, device manufacturers, of course, e-commerce, banks, and I don't know, online sites that are running ads on the DSP, and they definitely get results. The agencies are very happy on all the auto optimization and manual optimization and specific targeting functionalities, which helps them to really wow their clients, and then allows them to increase their profitability through the optimization features. So that's basically it. What I wanted to discuss now. This webinar has the Q&A bar, and if you're willing, you can actually add the questions, and I already have 5 questions here, but anybody who's now watching, you can write down your question on the left, and I'll select the question, and I will answer it one by one. So the first question was that please explain how publishers can monetize adverts from Eskimi. So this is a separate platform that we have, but you can reach out to us, any of us, and I will introduce you to the ad optimization person. The current platform works well for the mobile web. It also works for the apps. But if you have mobile web traffic, the result usually is much better. So the case studies that we have, the publishers are increasing their revenue from 30% to maybe 60, 70%. Sometimes they increase the revenue even twice. It very much depends on the publisher itself, the content quality of the traffic, and so on. Okay. Then the question, does the data presented on slide 19 provide a more realistic number of unique Nigerians online? So let me just get back to the slide, which was that. Not really. So the slide 19 actually shows the data of the DMP. So these are the users which we have the possibility to enrich their impressions with data. So currently in Nigeria, we have data on about 30% of our users. So let's say that we have 34 million unique users in Nigeria that are visible on the network every month. But we know that this is a male, or we know their location only in 30% of the cases, because we only surveyed this amount of users. So this is not the number of the number of users. The number of users is maybe 3 to 4 times bigger. Okay, then yeah. So what is ad domain when creating a campaign? So the ad domain is the final landing page domain. So sometimes it happens that you would add a Google URL shortener or bit.ly or a specific tracking URL, but we need to know where the user will land. So if there's a certain redirect link that you add for your landing page, we also need to know the ad domain. So the ad domain is just if you're running ads for coca-cola.com, let's say, but you're using a bit.ly URL shortener to just track it for yourself as well. So you will add your bit.ly link, and additionally you would add the ad domain, which will be the coca-cola.com. Okay. Then explain how click to call and click to buy operates. So for the click to call, it's fairly simple. If you have a USSD code or a simple number, you would include the ad in our system, and then you would specify the number or the USSD code that the users need to buy. So when the user is browsing and seeing your banner, he will click on the banner, and then he would automatically get a call window from his phone where we need to call. For some of the devices, the call would be initiated automatically when the user would click the ad. So in these cases, it's important that the ad would not mislead the customer, that the customer would understand that if he clicks the ad, he would automatically call a certain number or call the USSD string. So click to call or click to USSD works like that, and then click to buy is a specific system. For example, if you're Can give you an example of the same Eskimi data bundle with which we have with MTN. It can be any data bundle for any telco. That in this case, we would produce a landing page where the customer would click and buy a certain product that's being promoted. So the benefit here is that, for example, if you're using an SMS and the customer goes to the landing page and the operator would say, okay, if you want to buy this data bundle, you have to send Eskimi bundle to a short code 12345. The user has to remember two things. You have to turn off the browser, go to the SMS window, and then remember the shortcode and the keyword and send it, which breaks all the conversion funnels. So in our case, the customer is browsing mobile web. He clicks on the banner. He goes to the landing page, and then he's invited to buy the product. He just clicks and buys the product with a single click. So this is a very easy way to work this out. And for the user, the conversion we see is usually 5 to 10 times higher. If you're willing to get more information, we have a couple of case studies from the operators, and I can share the results of these campaigns. So you can reach out to me or to my colleagues, and we can share them. And there are some technical integrations that need to be done with the telcos. I can explain how they work and what we can do. Okay, then the other question, which is upvoted. So please explain how margin optimization works. So when you ask that, I suppose that you're an agency and you want to increase your margins. So there are a couple of things. You can set your margin when you have two reports. One report is for you, and the second report is for your client. So if you have an agreement with your client that you can give I don't know 50, and you can receive 15%, for example, agency discount, you can include this margin in our DSP. And then you will have two reports. One report would show, let's say, $75 which you spent, and then another report would be $100 with the 25% margin, which you can present to your client. So basically, the margin control is quite flexible, and it allows you to set the margins per client. And one client can have 10% margin, another client 20% margin, and so on. But the real value here is that, let's say you're currently buying ads on Google and GDN, and you are achieving a CPC of 20 cents, and you would like to decrease it to 15, and then basically this smart optimization margin you can keep for yourself because you know how to do that. So this is the area where usually agencies are increasing their profitability, not just adding margin on top as a markup, but increasing the value for the clients and decreasing the prices. So you can, using the auto optimization feature, you can actually decrease the CPC levels and the cost, and then use these additional budgets to basically increase your profitability and not share it with the client. So it depends on you. The system and the platform is very flexible. So as I mentioned, there are two ways. You can set the margin for yourself. You can also, using our auto optimization feature, just decrease the price and increase the result. So you could then increase your profitability. Are you able to reach Facebook ad network and abstract exchange? So no, currently we don't have that. We operate only on the display media kind of and video exchanges. So we don't use social currently. Okay, then. Can I serve HTML ads as well and add tags from my ad server? So currently, HTML ads as rich media ads are available. Ad tags are available, but we need to look into them. Depends on a lot of features and how they work. So some of them, they are available because I mean, you basically can include a specific code instead of the ad. But we need to look into it because some of the exchanges will block some of the ad tags. So it's basically a testing. We need to just test and see. Okay, then can you report show me saved impression and then viewable impression? So viewability currently is not available. We'll see if there's a need for that, but currently we don't support that on our platform. Okay, so I think I covered all the questions. So thanks a lot for the ones who connected and spent this 40-50 minutes with us. If you have any other questions, please feel free to communicate to us, myself, my colleague Vita, or Dobi, which is our country manager in Nigeria. If you have any requests for the DSP demo, you can also reach out to us, and we'll go through the platform in a very detailed manner and show you how it works. So you can also then showcase it to your clients or partners that you're buying ads for. So thanks a lot. This video will be posted on YouTube as well, so you feel free to share it. And then have a nice day and have a good luck buying more effective ads.